Hello and welcome back everybody to my channel. I'm Marilyn and today I want to give you guys a little bit more on how to properly do the hanging indent to fill in your reference page, how to pull articles from the EBSCO Host, your school library, and how to kind of put it all together so that you're making your reference page look properly. So the first thing that I want to do is kind of share my screen with you and go back and forth a little bit on how to do each thing. So the first thing I'm going to give you is I pulled up a CDC article. So whether you're doing it from an actual website or a publication company like the Center for Disease Control, or you're going into the actual EBSCO host and pulling articles, I want to show you and guide you around the ways of inputting your reference page. So I created a reference page here for you guys. The first thing I'm going to start off by doing is making sure everything's 12-point font, Times New Roman, double space, because you want to start off the bat doing this, but you also want to come back later on and double check that this is actually what it is. So let's say that I pull something in my pages and I cite from the CDC from this article. This is the article that I found and I quoted, I summarized, or I paraphrased. Either way, whatever I decided to do, I still need to cite my source and reference, right? So we'll go over citing on another time in this page, but I really want to show you guys how to properly fill in those reference pages without having to go to a link. So the first thing we have here, this is the article. Let's say I'm doing my research on attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD. The first thing I have is the title of my article, right? You need this information for all of your research that you do. You need the title. You have the date listed right here in the top right corner. Sometimes you can scroll all the way down and you might find it at the bottom of the page somewhere, or it'll say something about last updated and so on, or last edited. And because there's no author name, the CDC now becomes the author's name. So the CDC is now my author and my publication company. So with that, how much I know, I'm going to write CDC, right? So we'll write it out, because you want to write it out. You should be writing it out and not trying to cut little corners with abbreviation, although some professors will be fine with just that. So the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Whenever you're writing someone else's name, you should always make sure all the things are capitalized. I'm removing the bold because the only thing that should be bold is your reference, the title of it, which says reference. Then I'm going to come back. It's 2024. You do not need the month or the specific date. You just need the year, 2024, right? So I put a period to separate it, and then put in the parentheses 2024, period again. And then the name of my article is Protecting the Health of Children with ADHD. So protecting the health of children with ADHD. And you're writing it exactly how they put it. If they wrote out the name attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, then you would need to write it that way too. Right now, this is how it is. I'll double check, right? So this is how it is here, even though it's different up here. And you can see the same way they wrote it. The P is capitalized, the H, the C, the A, usually typically words as the, of, with, you don't need to capitalize. So I put that in, and then they are my publication company as well. So I'll be writing their name again. And then the last thing you can include in there, if you wanted to, would be the link to that article that you found, so that you can connect everything. And if you need to come back to it later, you can, right? So this is one reference, and then I moved it down to the next line, but I forgot one thing. I need to include a hanging indent. So before I move on from here and write in my next one, the next article that I pull, let's practice doing the hanging indent, right? So you're going to highlight the whole entire thing for this one reference, and you're going to go to your formatting. You may sometimes see it over here on the side, and it really depends on your document that you have. This is a Google document, but in Word document also you can find it in formatting. And you're looking for alignment and indent, right? So you may see it in paragraph styles and so on, align and indent. You're going to come in, and there's many other options. You're going to go all the way down to indentation options, and you're going to click on it. okay? And then it's gonna leave you with something like this. You're going down to the words that say special indent, and you're gonna click on more options to hanging indent. And it should automatically come up as 0.5. As you can see, mine did not. So some cases it should automatically do it, but some people have told me that this has been a thing that's happened, right? So because it didn't come up, a hanging indent is 0.5. That's it. That's what you would put in there. You would apply that if it did not come up that, and then you click apply, and there's my hanging indent for this article. You only need to do it once, because now I'm going to bring my mouse back over to the end of CDC, my link, and if I hit enter, it's going to start off back at the left again, no indent, to the new thing that I'm going to write. So I'm going to go in and pull up an article from the EBSCO host to show you how to get around doing the EBSCO host, right? So the first things you kind of want to do is click full text, right? Because you only want articles. You only want to find articles that you can find online. And then you want to do 2024. You want to narrow down the specific dates, and maybe let's do 2015, right? So because you don't want to be finding things from 1999. So 2015 to 2024 is a good span. I'm sure you'll still find a lot of stuff because this is something new. And then I'm going to type in children with ADHD, or I could just type in ADHD. You're just typing in keywords, right? So you can type in multiple different things if you're looking for a specific search. And then I click search. And as you can see on the side, I limited it to full text is highlighted and 2015 to 2024. That you want to make sure when you do this, you click on those things and double check that that still exists, because you don't want to be clicking on the links. You don't want HTML files. You want PDF files that you could actually download and save onto your computer. So if I decided, okay, this is, I'm reading the abstract to see what these articles are. This is the small abstract. I'm going to click on the PDF for this, and I decided, okay, I like this article, right? Let's say I read this whole article, I liked it, I've used it in my research. Now I need to kind of write it in, right? So here's my date. Here is the title. Here is my author, Melinda Young, right? So she's the first thing I need. So I only need her last name. And in some cases, if you have more than one author, you can even do comma M for her first name. And then you need the date, right? So I'm going to go back, and the date says June 2024. So all I'm writing is 2024, period, right? And then the title, you can even copy it and paste it. So I'm going to show you copying it. The only thing is that you need to be careful because it may not always come up as it is be. And don't forget to go back, and I didn't do it on this one, to the title and italicize it. That's that slanted I. It's called italics next to the bold B. The titles of articles or names should be italicized, right? So and then where did I get this? Who is the publication company? Hospital Case Management, maybe? I'm going to scroll down to make sure and look. Relius Media, look, they are the publication company right here. We don't add a .com. All you need is RELIAS Media. That's it, right? So, and then the last thing, like I said, I wanted to include the link to this article because I thought this was a nice article, right? And I want to be able to come back to it later on. And like, as you can see, the hanging indent followed suit. As soon as I pressed, started writing, it indented it on its own. So you only need to do it one time. And you want to make sure that you find out how many references you need. And these are the things that you're including: the author's last name, the year of publication, the title of the article in italics. So don't forget to go back and italicize it at the end. And then the publication company. So that could be a little bit different. I always recommend to people, after you're done writing in all your references, go in and make sure everything, especially if you're copying and pasting things in, go in and then make sure it's Times New Roman, 12-point font, double space, which it is. And this is how you write your reference page. Okay, I hope this helps. And if you have any questions, please just write them in the comments or in the chat.